So Tasker, which is probably one of my favorite apps on Android, is having a huge sale right now. I think normally it's around $7. Now it's $2. I've been soliciting everybody to purchase that through Twitter and Google Plus, and it sounds like a lot of you guys have taken me up on the offer and opened it up and felt immediately that it was intimidating. I can understand that. There's a lot to Tasker. There's no question. But it's fairly simple once you get the hang of it. Well, first, let me go to the Play Store. For those who don't know, this is Tasker, the developer name, Crafty Apps. Tremendous app. Even if you don't feel comfortable with it now, after this video, after doing online researches, just go ahead and buy it. I promise you, it's going to be one of those apps that you're going to kick yourself when you realize the price goes up $5 soon. Alright, and I should point out, a lot of the apps that you've purchased to do automated tasks, little things like adjusting volume, whatever, Tasker can do that for you. So honestly, that $2 could save you a lot more money, not just by buying Tasker in the future, but preventing you from having to buy other apps that do stupid little tasks Tasker can do for you. Alright, that's my sales pitch. Now, when you're in Tasker, this is going to be the user interface. It just got redesigned, so I'm still getting a little bit used to it, but I'm a huge fan of it. Yours may look slightly different. Mine's going to look probably a lot better because I am running an excellent theme by Joshua S79. I did a review on it recently, but very slick theme, so you'll notice my toggles are slightly different, etc. But enough of that. First way to get started, I believe, is just to talk about how Tasker works. And then we'll jump into examples of some of the ones that I've got set up. As you can see, the green ones are currently already running right now. So when you get started, click the plus sign. What you're doing is you're creating a profile. Gosh, I don't even know how to have an example. I don't really need to create one, but I'll just say app. We'll just leave it app. Click OK. So now you've got a selection here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 6 different choices, and this is called the context. Think of it as like the action. What is going to start your task happening? I named this one app, so I guess I'll do an app-based one. So, if I clicked application, I'm going to basically say if this app opens, I want this task to happen. Or I could say if it's this day, maybe it's something different I'm doing. If it's an event, if it's based off the location, if I'm at home or if I'm at work, the state, that could be a number of things. That's probably the one that I use the most. And then time of day, if I wanted to set quiet time for my phone. But for this one, I'll also do application, and I'll just go ahead and select a few apps here. It's pulled up my whole laundry list, but I'll select a few, and I'll go ahead and click this up here. Now you get this prompt, a new task. So basically what I said is the context is if any of those 4 apps are opened, I want a task to happen. You can name them if you want to. I don't. I prefer not to name them, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so now what I'm waiting on is what's going to happen when either of those 4 apps are opened. Well, click the plus sign. You get a laundry list of selections. I maybe want to do something with my screen brightness for those apps. Most of them were kind of photography based. So let's see here. Display. I'm going to turn auto brightness off. And then after auto brightness is turned off, I'm going to go back to display, and I'm going to say my display brightness needs to go way up. Okay, so one of those 4 apps, turn auto brightness off, turn my brightness up, we'll click back, and there it is. Now I've already got one similar to this, so I'm just going to long press and delete this one, because as you can see, I have that one right here, Bright Apps. So just to give you an example, right now I have auto brightness on. Let me open up wall base. Actually, you know what? Well, you can see it just toggled. Let me go back to this 500px. This is a really good photography app. As you can see, my screen brightness just got a lot brighter. And I mean, it really helps when you're looking at photos. Significantly better. To prove my point, a little bit ago that was showing auto brightness. And I set an exit task, so when I get out of that app, you can see my screen just changed back to, auto. Now, let me go back to Tasker. Let's see. Now, so there it is. You can click on it, it'll show the apps, it'll show my auto brightness off and turning it on. One of the things I didn't show in that example, if you long press, you can add an exit task. And I basically said to turn my auto brightness back on when I leave those apps. So that allows me to toggle that back on automatically. Now there's tons of different things you can do. Pin, this is basically where I am near my home Wi-Fi. I want to disable my 4-digit pin that is required for my exchange. Sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. That's a little wonky. I can't explain why. So I'm not going to get into that one too much. You'll try it, and if it doesn't work, you'll get mad. But for some reasons it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'll just leave it at that. Now, I don't have a data plan. I prefer not to pay for one. So I only use Wi-Fi. So it's very important for me when I'm out and about and connecting to Wi-Fi to disable and enable sync automatically. It was so easy to do this with Tasker. Basically all I said is anytime I'm connected to Wi-Fi, and I'll click on it for you so you can see what I'm talking about, I left it blank. So that's not saying specific home Wi-Fi or a specific work Wi-Fi. Any Wi-Fi that I'm connected to, I am making it to where my auto sync is turned on, and whenever I'm away from that Wi-Fi, to turn my auto sync off. I love that. It saves me a tremendous amount of battery, and I don't have to worry about turning sync on and off. I can do the same thing with my Wi-Fi. So basically when I am, you know what, let me just build you one. It'll probably make more sense to actually go through and do one. If I wanted my Wi-Fi to cut on automatically when I get home, I'd go to plus, and I'll just say home, okay, and at this point, this is the context, the action. What action am I looking for? Well, I'm saying when I'm home, so I'm gonna go state and phone. So when my phone is near a cell tower, so cell near, click on cell near. I'm gonna click scan. This might take a little bit, but because I have terrible signal, you can see that negative 105 dBm. Thank you, T-Mobile. In a little bit, there will be some information relayed from my cell towers. I can stop it at that point, and well, usually at this point I've already got a few popping up. We'll wait a little bit longer, just in case. Be great for my example. Okay, there we go. Some are popping up now. So I'm going to go ahead and stop it. Now, this is the location. The number at the end, that's not important. You can delete those if you want. I'm an A-type personality, so forgive me. Even though I'm about to delete this, I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Alright, so there's that. I'm going to go ahead and go back. Now again, I'm creating a new task, so when I'm near those locations, what do I want it to do? I want it to cut my Wi-Fi on. So I'm going to go in here, and it might take a little bit of time to get used to where everything is. Just play around with it. It's under net, and then I'm going to go to Wi-Fi, and I'm going to toggle it to where it's on. Go back. Go back. All right, and there it is. So home, when I'm near that cell tower, cut my Wi-Fi on. Now I've already got that one again, so forgive me, I'm going to go ahead and delete it. And you can see I actually set up an exit task, so whenever I leave that area, my Wi-Fi cuts off. And just in case, because of my poor signal, I also built a task in there to wait 3 minutes and 30 seconds, just in case I just get terrible signal, which often happens in here. Alright, so, I've got another one in here where I specified times where I want my phone to have minimal audio settings. And, I set my phone by my bed. I don't want to be woken up in the middle of the night from a phone call. Or maybe I do, but, so to do something like that, if you wanted to set like quiet hours for your phone pretty easily, I'll just name it something. This is where you would use the time. Go there. Specify the times from and to. Alright, so I'm just going to do something there. Okay. And then I'm going to create a new task. And again, I'm sorry, I don't ever name these. I just think it makes things cluttered, so I'm going to click there. So between those hours, what I want it to do, I want my audio to be silent. Alright, that's it. Very, very, very simple. Let me go ahead and delete this one. Alright, now the photo email, this is the one which was, I thought, pretty clever. This is when someone tries to enter my PIN twice incorrectly, it actually emails me a photo. I showed that in a previous video, so if you're interested in that, go ahead and check that out. Same for locate. Basically, I can text my phone and it will send me the GPS location. And that was in the other video. Same for alarm. So headphones, really basic. And I guess I'll just keep building these. That's probably the easiest way to learn, is actually see what I'm doing. So I named this one here, and let me see if I can remember how to do it. So it's a state, I believe, and we're going hardware, I believe. Yeah, and then headset plugged. You can specify what kind. I'm gonna leave it as any. So I'm gonna go back. It's a new task. I'm not gonna name it. So what do I want to happen when I plug headphone in? I want to, let's say I'm going to turn my silent mode off, and then I am going to turn my media volume up. So let's see if I can find media volume, turn that up. Okay. And then maybe I want to open an app. So load app. I'll scroll through my list here. Let's say I want power amp. Go back. Alright, there it is. So plug in my headset. I want my silent mode off, my media volume to 10, and I want power amp to open. Now I've already got that in there, so forgive me, I'm going to delete it again. But just to show you how it works, plug this in real quick. I don't know if you can hear it because of my headphones, but you can see power amp is up here and it's playing. Alright, so if you recall what's going to happen when I unplug it, power amp gets killed and my volume gets returned back to the way it was. Alright, So we'll go back to Tasker. Headphones, we did that one. We did the bright apps. I think that one's pretty cool, especially for watching YouTube. And you can do the same thing for GPS. So basically what I did is I said, anytime I open apps like navigation or my speed, whatever, heads up display, then I want my GPS to be enabled. Now, GPS being enabled is slightly different, so let's go ahead and build this one again. I'm going to call it GPS, well, we'll call it GPS 3 for whatever reason. Alright, so what is the trigger here? It's going to be an application. So let's go with, where's a good one? I like Runkeeper. Where's that at? Here we go. Runtastic. So when Runtastic is opened, it's a new task, and I'm not going to name it. Now the reason why I said that GPS is slightly different is at some point, I apologize, I don't recall when, you're no longer able to toggle GPS unless you use a third-party plugin. When you go to get Tasker, also go download an app called Secure Settings. I'll put it in the video description down there. It's going to be a plugin, so just click on Plugin, and there it is, Secure Settings. I'm going to configure it, so I click Edit. And as you can see, there's tons of options. Really highly suggest getting this. And the key guard, for those who are interested, that's how you disable the pin unlock and lock. So play around with that one. And password pin, I've heard some people say they have had better success with that as well. But I'm going to scroll down to GPS. Let's see where we at. GPS. And let's say when I open Runtastic, I want my GPS turned on. So I'm going to click Save, go back, and there it is. GPS 3, Runtastic Pro, Secure Settings, GPS on, and let's go add an exit task. So you long press on it, add an exit task, new task. I hate naming them, sorry. Go ahead and add it. Same thing, it's a plugin. Secure Settings, Edit, GPS, off. Alright. Let's see here. What's going on? What did I do? Edit, GPS, off, save, back. There we go. Okay, so I've already got this one built in, so I'm going to go ahead and delete it, but I'll show it to you in action. This is the one right here. Now, you can see my GPS is off. Let's go ahead and open Runtastic real quick. Let's see, where are you? There, Runtastic. Oh, darn it. You can see my GPS turned on. Look at my Bluetooth off. And it's searching.
GPS signal valid.
Okay, there we go. So I am going to exit. And GPS is off. I mean, it's little, but little things like that make Tasker so valuable. And honestly, it's just up to your imagination. Anything that you want your phone to do, I haven't found Tasker unable to do it. And these are the most basic of things. We didn't even get into variables and just the advanced level of Tasker. I am not going to pretend that I understand or could do everything Tasker allows me to do. I don't need that. The basics like this, the sync, the GPS, plugging in my headset, all those little things just make my phone so much more enjoyable. So because of that, it is my hope that you will go into the market, pick up Tasker while it's dirt cheap, and hopefully you'll enjoy it as much as I do. And I look forward to you coming back to me later down the road and saying, Caleb, thanks for pushing so hard for me to buy that app. It was totally worth it. Hopefully this helped. We talked briefly about, Tasker, the format, setting the action, and then the task of that action being triggered. It's fairly straightforward, and you kind of saw how I did it. I think not naming the task really helps keep it clean. It's not needed, and like you see, if you click on them, it expands. You can kind of see kind of everything. You don't really need to name everything, in my opinion. Any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll certainly try and answer them. Hopefully I'll learn something from your questions researching it for you if I don't know it already. And let me know what you guys think. If it's helpful to you, I'd really appreciate you sharing it, subscribing, commenting, just some form of acknowledgement that these videos help some way. That'd be really cool. It certainly makes me want to do more. Thank you guys.